That's a heavy hip. Look at Tommy now. He's got a very nice sweep from here. There it goes. There it is. Wow!
One of the most common systems Gordon Ryan uses from the bottom begins with his shoulder crunch sweep. To do the shoulder crunch, Gordon isolates an opponent's arm, pinching their elbow area with his head and his shoulder. While the pinch blocks the arm's ability to move in 3 directions, Gordon must block the arm's ability to move up to prevent them escaping. To do this, he captures the upper arm with his elbow pointing up and reinforces it with his other arm, usually with a double wrist grip. This blocks pathways to escape while putting immense pressure onto the shoulder joint. To finish the sweep, Gordon will use his butterfly hooks to lift and rotate the opponent over the same side as the captured arm, putting them onto their back and normally landing in mount or half guard. Now that we've covered the basics, we can cover the setups Gordon uses to enter this position. Through what I've seen, he mainly has 2 ways of entering the initial shoulder crunch. The first of which is through capturing head and arm control from the bottom. He will dig an underhook, capture the head and arm, extend the opponent while putting the captured arm over his shoulder, and then switch grips from behind the opponent to in front of them with his double wrist grips, isolating and extending the arm. The second way Gordon captures the arm is from his opponent overextending their grip around his neck. Once the opponent's elbow passes his shoulder for them to wrap around for control, it leaves them open for Gordon to swim his arm around the arm and enter the shoulder crunch. Now that the entries are done, we can go over the finishing mechanics. Mainly, the use of his legs to finish the sweep. When elevating his opponent, Gordon will use 3 different lower body attacks to assist in the sweep. The first of which, he uses his other foot to post on the mat to assist in elevation. Secondly, he uses his foot to push on his opponent's lower thigh to extend it and remove the post. And lastly, he scissors the opponent's leg, swiveling their hips and putting them to their back. Gordon uses these while he's stretching the opponent's shoulder and pinning it to the mat with his head and arm to make it easier for his lower body to follow. A commonly used counter to this position is the opponent stepping up on the same side as the captured arm, blocking the sweeping path. However, this opens them up for further attacks. To try and finish the crunch, Gordon will remove his hook to push the inner thigh of the stepped up leg, extending it hopefully enough to be swept over. While an opponent steps up, they will normally try to gain an underhook on the other side. This is to avoid giving Gordon double underhooks, which would give him easy access to leg attacks. Using the position, Gordon will switch the crunch to an underhook while using his other arm to block the opponent from posting. He then lifts the stepped up leg and then rotates the opponent to sweep them onto their other side. A more complicated attack method comes from him targeting the stepped up leg itself. He will remove the crunch to attach to the leg. With the connection, he gets below his opponent and enters single leg X. From single leg X, he will invert while lifting the opponent's hips and capturing the other leg. He then removes his outside leg and rotates it behind the opponent to enter a leg entanglement on the opponent's other leg. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. The support y'all have been giving me with all this is very motivating, even if my upload schedule doesn't seem like it. I made a Patreon. If you want to support me through that, I'd appreciate it a lot. There's one video about Habib on there that I can't upload on the YouTube channel because copyright destroys it. So if you want a completely copyright-free experience on my MMA videos, that's where you can find them from now on. Outside of that, I don't really have much else to say. Thanks again for the support. I've been your favorite injured commentator and analyst, and I'll see you in the next video in 3 months.